Hello everybody, what is up? I am this time doing something a little bit different. It is Aerith, and I'm going to be basically watching Sentinels versus Cloud9 and basically doing an analysis on their game to see like how did they do? How did Sentinels do? And how did Cloud9 do? So this video is definitely going to be a little bit longer. It's not going to be my usual um, going through the motions in a sense. I'm going to probably just talk about what I see, what I like, what I think they could do better as a team, or just like general things that might be seen throughout the gameplay. So first off, right off the gate, something that I feel like everyone should be looking at is the team comps. The team comp is very interesting, especially due to Sentinels being very new of a team, having lost Saucy and Tens. They kind of now have Narrate on Killjoy, and then they have Zelsis on KO, Sen, Bang on Astra, Zekken on Neon, and then John QT on Fade. And it is due to like it is a new map, so definitely seeing this could be very not surprising. But I think that one of the weirder things for at least Sentinels I see round game wise is that they have Narrate and Zelsis kind of swapped. Because if you look at a lot of Narrate's history himself, if you look at Narrate, recently he's been playing a lot of like more of the Cypher KJ, I think. But when he was on Carmen Core, he tended to play a lot more Duelist and Initiator himself. So I understand that they're probably trying to like see against Sova Gecko. It's more of a position of if I like look at any game with Narrate, it's duelist or uh, initiator. So him now playing more so. If you look at his like where they're putting him, they did put him on the Yoru one time, but it's like he's playing Cypher, he's playing KJ Cypher, he's playing again KJ Cypher. So he's kind of taking from John QT his prior role. And I don't know if it's due to John QT changing up his call, like how he likes to call, or it's just more fundamentally better this way for this team. But it's very interesting to see that in my mind, because then John QT, even though he played a lot more Cypher, he didn't really play a lot of KJ. Whenever it was KJ, it tended to be Zelsis when it wasn't back when they were playing. Wait, let me go to Sentinels. But then, like, if you look at Zelsis, right, he tend to play more of the Killjoy for the team. If you look at a lot of prior to like if there's a Lotus game, like Lotus, yeah, Zelsis would be the one on KJ. So John QT would either play most likely Viper or Cypher. Like I feel like honestly, out of a lot of Sentinels games back then when it was Tens and Saucy on the team, it tended to be much more for John QT. Oh, but he did play Killjoy every once in a while, I guess. But it seemed to be pretty rare. Actually, I want to see his stats. Like, if you look at the last 60 days, like one time, he's been playing much more Fade in recent time, and even here, like you can see, it's just one time. Cypher was more his go-to. There's not a lot of Viper here, so I guess, yeah, he's been really transitioning to the initiator role much more. But if you look, he kind of tends to play a lot more Sentinel in it of itself. Like Sentinel is more of John QT's role, but now due to the big change, they're for some reason in my mind putting Narrate on it doesn't make sense because like again looking at his stats and looking at just where he's been playing, like most recently with Sentinels he's been playing a lot more uh, like Sentinels and a little bit of Smokes, but now due to Bang being on the team, he doesn't really have to fill that role anymore Because Bang is honestly, I do think, a very good smokes, and honestly, I think them choosing Bang as their replacement for smokes, I think that was honestly a really great choice. Xander, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was between Xander and Bang, and I think Bang is one of the more higher rated players. Like truly, like if you look at a lot of his stats and just like looking back when he played, I don't think Bang was ever like someone where you were like, oh yeah, he's not playing well. Like he definitely can get some shots in. Like he's not like always super super consistent sometimes, but like he's not a bad player. Like Bang is very young, very, I guess, adaptable to teams. Like you can look at Bang and see like he's like really good overall. Like he's a good player. He's a smart player. So I think Bang joining Sentinels at Smokes definitely is working. Like he's putting in some work, putting in some numbers. I do think it is interesting though, because then Zelsis, he tends to be the player who plays it all for the team. Like he's never like not playing anything like role wise besides duelist, because that is more so for Zekin. But yeah, if you're just like looking at his like roster itself, I think he's playing well. It's just that he's definitely being more supportive for his team. Like if you look at it, like he's getting frags too, but when you look at his role, he definitely is more of the supporter. He has 23 assists. Just like that itself, he's not getting any first kills. Like he's not getting as many first kills, let's say, actually, in comparison to first stats. But like you do need these type of people like Zeusis, who in it he is also the buy merchant, so that's like something that definitely can be is something that's very important. But also I do think Zeusis being a part of the team, just like as a support player, is very important. I don't think maybe some people might give him credit for. And like I do think them having Sentinels having Redux on the bench is a very good like future prospect for them. I just don't think it's gonna be Zelsis that's getting replaced, because if Zelsis gets replaced, right? I guess you can technically. It's just like Redux. He's been seen to be mainly playing a duelist role, but like recently, during the show match, he was playing, I think, smokes for them. No, he was playing Phoenix. Wait, is it through this one? Am I tripping? I remember seeing. I thought it could. Yeah, like he was playing smokes in certain games for some. Oh, it was for Red Bull Homeground. That's what it was. He was playing Omen, basically trying to kind of like a little bit fill in for Ten's spot prior to um yeah, just prior to Tens and them leaving. But yeah, I think it is really shifting up the Sentinels roster. So I think currently it's something they definitely need to work on, and I think John QT needs to find his new rhythm within calming or like in game leading. But I do think this team has a lot of potential. They definitely have a lot of fraggers, and I think Zelsis being here is honestly a good choice, because someone needs to be able to support the team. The moment if the whole team is just pure fragging, I don't think there's any true way for the team to win. Cause like even EDG, the moment they added Simon, even though he wasn't like the biggest fragger, he definitely put a lot of work through assists and helped the team get the kills. But yes, moving on. I do think their team setup on Sentinels is very interesting. But
the graphic of the city of LA?
I feel like with Cloud9, it definitely is more. This is kind of expected. I feel like Zeppa is a little bit more. I wouldn't say he's more of the flex. For sure, I think between with Cloud9, Rossi, he tended to be more of the smokes player, if I was not mistaken, and then he also, I think, played a little bit of initiator, but Oxy being duelist makes sense. Vix normally was the smokes player. Zeppo was either like the Raze or a initiator, and then Moose was always like the sentinel. So I do think Rossi's gonna have probably the most like
Hio Cheeseburger
he's gonna
is
have to be
gonna
the
be doing
biggest
a
flex
special
player
today
in my mind
where you get
on
a free arm sleeve
Cloud9,
if you go buy
but
this.
he is also the IGL.
They
So
are
I feel like
feeding
playing
Sean and Tarek,
flex
and
and
since the
as an
side
IGL, it's definitely a
is gonna
little
get free
interesting.
Hio Cheeseburger.
They're talking about whatever they're talking about. I'm gonna mute them for a little bit. I think it might just be better overall. But yeah, Rossi is playing a very, if he's playing flex, especially as a IGL, that's gonna be a very difficult matchup for him because you're gonna have to play it very differently, from having information when you're pushing up versus like lurking, calming for rotates. But so I like this though from Sentinels. They are taking a 5-man push together.
We're seeing Sova versus.
So with them pushing together onto site, I think that's very beneficial for their team. Like they're making sure no one's getting picked really quickly. Tap bomb, I like that. They know that there's an Astra. Getting that early tap, making sure no one is, so they can at least remove that Astra suck. They know where both people are. They push in to get Vic. He gets the, the Rossi getting that kill there early is pretty good. That's just unlucky. I think Bang was trying to get half there. So because he was getting half, he had to wait. He couldn't get off sooner because then the moment he got off sooner, the bomb would have just exploded by that point. So I do think Bang holding that was the right play. It's just unlucky that the smoke went down like right then and there. But I do think where they planted it was a little bit better of a spot. It is a little bit riskier, but because Sentinel's 5-man retaked, it was a lot. It was able. It allowed them to be able to do that plant. Getting that peak early, allowed them to push. Second is kind of hella pushed up. I don't know if they will be ready for that. Yeah. They they get that kill onto. Wow, they're getting some trades here. Even on pistol round, I'm very surprised. It is kind of dangerous for Bang right there. Yep, that's very smart of Rossi and Cloud9 to do that. I'd be very surprised if Narrate won this, but he definitely should die here. I don't think there's any reason to truly save. You don't have a gun, you have a sheriff. Either he's rapping long way, or he's just. No, he's rapping. Like, this is. But then. Oh no, he's not. He's saving gun? Do they really think saving gun in this moment is the right move? I guess they could have concerns that he's pushing through mid, but they have a camera flank and they have a tripwire flank. Whenever you're playing against a Cypher, like, doing those things so late in the round doesn't feel worth it. So I think I think Sentinels are assuming they're going to be playing back. They're not going to be pushing up against the KJ, narrate. And because of this, he just wants to die to Spike. But he was basically running away as far as he could, so he couldn't get killed by them if they did push him up. Ah, interesting. I do think that's a valid play for sure, because they don't want to allow Rossi to get ult possibly, if because like he's one away from ult. So but you calming that like, hey, back off, just don't let them kill you. I think that's honestly a fine play. It is very interesting though that they played it like that. So now it's a full buy at least for Sentinels. They do kind of have a little bit of a half buy over on Cloud9, but they do have a little bit of like they can definitely buy for round 4, which I think is very smart and ideal. Narrate taking that fight, very surprising. He definitely had some nice shots there. It allowed him to get that pick. Junkie T backing up. Hopefully he's calming to his team that their mid's compromised in a sense. He should peek that. Nice with the dash. Perfect, perfect. Neon Slide is just very strong. It gives you really good positioning in comparison to like other points and like spots that you could be. I like that knife. I like Bang immediately smoking it off, kind of just trying to see if he can get the smoke still down. I think Cloud9 is playing this really well right now. They're playing very together, kind of condensed as a team. Whenever they start throwing util, they kind of throw util together, or they start peeking out together at least. I don't like this plant, and I don't like where they're going, personally. I think they should either go A main. Yeah, like, the moment, yeah, they killed KO, now they have to worry about... They can't just walk away from bomb, because the moment they start defusing, it guarantees. But yeah, second wins that. I think that was... Honestly, I think that was due to positioning on Cloud9 more than Sentinels, in my honest opinion. I think Cloud9 going towards art more than going to main was their big mistake. They could have been worried about pushing onto site and then getting shot from A main. Playing that from that plant spot is just not helpful. I think they should have planted where they planted before, which was kind of more in this general area. I think if they did it there, that would have been a lot more beneficial. Um, they do have a lot of alts coming up, possibly. They have KO alt and then Cypher alt. But, so yeah, the moment KO alts, I like that. Bang immediately smokes it off for his team. He gets flash, he kind of has to back up, understandably. He gets the kill onto Oxy. That's actually really strong, very good. That's a lot of information lost for Cloud9. Rossi playing for the back. Alting now is very interesting. He's not playing for post plant. So I do think that was a very interesting play they did right there. It felt very preemptive and not necessary. Oh, Zeba has flanked but no one knows. Okay, wait, I can turn at least. I was like, does no one know? They're able to spam a little bit. He doesn't know that they're defusing. And that's very awkward for them. Also get the pick. Wow, that's good. Getting that pick ruins their money even more. Like, they're gonna have to full, or like, not full, but like half buy, or like full half armor or something, whatever they want to do. I think Sentinels winning that round was very big for them. Sorry, while I'm not talking, I guess I'll leave the commentary on. Makes it easier.
Ooh, double bait setup on tree. You peek, I'll hide.
But yeah, I do think them waiting for C9 to make a move is good. I do think Neon playing there is a little risky, but because she has at least running, like she can run fast enough, hopefully she can back out, but
As they walk A. Not gonna do anything though, because
they haven't rotated at all. I do like this. It seems like there's not a lot of like effort behind this like push. I feel like a lot of times C9 has like a very like they have like you can see like C9 util dumps before they push onto site. Also Bang dying there was really bad. But I think Bang is also just he's playing in that spot every time. It's like kind of predictable. I do like them re-peeking together, playing, giving that flash to Zekin. Getting that kill also was very surprising. They did lose smoke though, so they have to probably push this because the likelihood of them winning this would be very unlikely if they don't kill and push up. Wow, he gets that kill. They have to re-peek. Okay, wow, that was well played. That was well played. But yeah, because there was no smokes, they had to fight a main, and I think that's very smart. Because yeah, the moment you have a lack of smokes to block off choke points, the moment they peek, they can guarantee see you. Having that visibility gone allows for so much like possible misdirection or slash like not lack of information is very strong within this game, and that is why smokes is very important because you're providing a lack of information. You might hear, but you don't know where people are looking. So when peeking out of a smoke, it's very dangerous, but you can win those fights. It is still, again though, very dangerous. But I do think if I'm looking at Sentinel side, seeing Cypher Cam and all this stuff, I don't know if I'm gonna expect it to be a push entirely. But again, they kind of back off and walk towards. Fade's trying to rotate towards A. I think that's honestly like a very smart play. But like, yeah, they have not a lot watching mid. I think them not watching mid is very dangerous. But at least Fade is aware of this. It's something that's within their comp that they are aware that they can have so much like lack of like knowledge on mid. So Fade is being very careful, and that timing is crazy. The moment they look away, oh my god, Oxy kind of whiffed there, but yeah, at least at least they kind of got the kill there. Bang, kind of whiffed. I do think. I don't know if I liked that timing on the Fade, because John QT moving in that moment is definitely really hard. The reason I say that is because, yes, you want to help your team that's getting pushed, but you also gotta have something watching flanking, especially if you worry about that as like a point of someone's pushing. So the moment, I'm trying to think, if you were to have that happen, either I think you throw util to guarantee it's clear, or you wait for somebody to rotate to you. But they have to be close, because like the moment your team's getting pushed, you gotta make sure like you can't just let them have that area for free. You can let them have that. Like mid is very strong. Having mid is just a lot of power because it allows you to be able to rotate so much faster than the enemy team normally. So that's why I'm like, I think that's like a big worry that needs to be like precautions need to be taken to make sure mid's not compromised.
Watching the stream or not, you're getting fucking ads.
Yeah.
You're gonna get these ads one way or
By the way,
another.
Yeah, you guys are gonna watch these ads. You're gonna like them.
to be fair, right?
About
my
2 hours.
God.
Back you.
They're not really pushing up too much right now. I think this is honestly okay, like playing a little bit back. I think C9 understands that mid was weak last time, but I think they're like, we're not gonna let that happen again. And I think Sentinels adapting to that is very smart, making sure they have trips, but also making sure Fade is staying mid, making sure there's no one that could just push so easily. I do worry again though. There is that line of like connector from A side to B side that's kind of still open, like this area right here. It's definitely still available and very dangerous. But at least they didn't push, but also they are hard pushing onto site. Nary kind of whiffed there. That's just unlucky. I do think they should win this round for sure, Sentinels. If Sentinels do lose this, I'd be very surprised. There you go. You see they're playing well together. John Kuki does get hit a little bit. He does die. Okay, I was about to say, like, no way they lose this, right? 3v1. They shouldn't. Look, good thing about them, you saw John QT and Bang were trying to trade. They were playing a little, like, tight of an angle the moment moment he peeked, he had to like either peek out or something. But I do think that was good. Them waiting there. I honestly wait. I'm gonna go back because I do not know if Zekken was on bomb immediately or if it was okay. So you see, Zekken he's watching that angle and then he runs up. He hears, I like it. Okay, I see. So what they were doing was Zekken was running from the basically at the other side of hall, basically pressuring Vic in that position. Even though he didn't have to whip his gun out, he didn't have to fight. I think Zekken was ready to fight. If Bang got shot at or something, or Bang was getting shot at, I'm very sure that Zekken would have dashed or like slid in to fight with Bang to basically try to get the trade guarantee. Bang luckily won that fight. But yeah, in this moment, trying to think, do I like this timeout? Because it is their half buy, so they're definitely gonna be calming and like kind of making a plan for not this round but the round after. So I'm assuming this timeout, they're assuming it's gonna be a guaranteed 5-3 next round, but they're just trying to play for 5-4 after that. Yeah, since it's like a half buy. Let me see though. How many rounds? I'm trying to see if it's like, cause they just lost that round. I forgot if they won the no. It was so they lost a round and they won a round. Sentinels. So because of that, I really don't think so. Like I feel like you need your team to like be in like somewhat consistent of losses, but because I guess they're going on econ a decent amount, it's like very worrying I guess to the coach. But since there's an in-game call actually, they're doing it uncensored. I will allow the comps to speak for themselves, hear what they have to talk about and what they are thinking.
Again, they have a half back.
Oh, a little listening. Here we go. So Cloud9 listening, right? Yeah.
We shall.
Okay, there you go.
Is there a question being
Are you alive or no? No.
Come towards me. Everyone.
I do like
Okay,
the all back from the Zelsis.
Oh, yeah.
I can drone, we can do it.
I think I just break it, bro.
Five towards A.
Sure? Alright, go.
I have a bucket.
Let's save it,
That's fucking hilarious. We got the turn. We got the turn.
Wait, don't do yet.
I can join.
Yeah,
I'm just breaking, bro. You just like me for real.
Yeah, I have everything.
C9 tends to leave Rossi behind to bait with his util.
Okay. I only have one smoke then. I can recall this. Francis, and we go. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. You have to run down. Go.
But I like how Sentinels have not moved.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Honestly, at this point, they're just giving mid up to them.
Gonna be a molly.
And John QT Fade is just waiting for them.
I started.
2 heaven. Just fine, get out.
That worked.
30 seconds left.
Is this KJ all good? It's pretty good, wow.
Weird, guys.
I like this ult a lot.
Yeah.
Can you smoke on the bomb?
Yeah, smoke goes. I
Updates.
only have a
I can
bucket.
shock as well.
Comms.
Not on.
Standing close.
Guys, I'm gonna do my ult.
Wait, it's not the experience?
Tell me when it's off.
I am surprised how much they're ulting though here. Sentinels use a lot of ults to just stop them from their econ round.
Touch screen. I'm fighting. They stunned.
It's done.
It's pushing me. Pushing.
Boom, second.
Oh, no.
10 seconds left.
Player standing.
I thought so. He didn't get off the third pulse, right? He waited too.
So, things I liked about that round and things I did not like. Zelsis, I really liked his ult. He ulted there the moment he heard basically Neon ulting him. And because the reason I really like that ult is that is gonna be their easiest way to get a win. The moment the Neon ults and possibly gets a pick or two, they get guns from that, and that can definitely snowball enough to allow for Cloud9 to win. I think that was a very smart play, making sure that Neon could not get activated with her ult. But yeah, I do think C9 also alting with Sova was a little interesting there because I think I think it maybe looked like winnable. I do like that play together. I like how John QT and Neon are playing together. I like the dog and then immediately the Neon peeking afterwards. I like how John QT kind of stays to make sure no one's pushing up afterwards, making sure 8 will be actually clear. Neon is coming back. I guess since there's no sound towards B, there's not any big worries, but I am surprised how much they're giving mid up. Because it seems like mid is a very like free spot. KJ definitely seems aware of the Cypher possibly being pushed up. Maybe not specifically Cypher, but he's aware that somebody's pushed up. He gets that pick. That's good. That's good. Oxy makes that push. He gets killed by Narrate. I thought he was gonna definitely get killed by Zelsus there. I guess that was a good peek by Narrate then. They know where Zeppa is. He gets a flash ult. 2v1. This is so losable. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Zeppa almost won that for the team. Wait, I wanna replay that. So he doesn't get scammed by knife. By this KO knife. I like that. Smarts. He plays a little bit forward. He wants to get a pick because he knows he's at disadvantage. So he needs to get a pick. He flashes out. Immediately peeks after it. Ready. Narrate peeks out. Oh, wow. If Zelsus didn't hide behind that wall, they could have actually lost that. Because I think Zeppa could have definitely transferred the spray there onto Zelsus pretty easily. And then Narrate was trying to shorty him. Maybe he just didn't have bullets? But I do like this a lot. I like that. KO did flash a little late, I think, for the Neon. But I understand, I guess. But yeah. That was very close. Very dangerous. He brought out his classic on that. Almost lost that round. Wow. That was very close for Zeppa. I do like Neon here ulting, or like opping. I think opping on Pearl is probably really strong. Wow, I like that smoke. But that's like very like situational. Because of a dart, they smoked deeper, so they assumed that no one was towards B. They still have 3 stacked towards B. But I am very impressed with that smoke. That smoke basically allows for them not to get scanned at all. Narrate does die there, unfortunately. Bang is playing on site, dies. He does get Rossi. I do think that is a fair trade. 1 for 3, like I think that's so worth. Oxy playing back knowing that there's a flash is very smart. I'm surprised he doesn't break knife there. I think that's a very... I don't think that's personally the correct move. I think you should always shoot the knife in that moment. I do like that spam. That's a very good spam. He does get killed there. I'm not sure if I enjoy this plant as much, but I understand why they planted there. It's because they're worried that they will get spammed if they planted towards like box. I like how Vic waited for a sound cue of Neon running before he peeked into the wall. I think that's something I can definitely do if I'm against a Neon. He knows Neon could be close or in back hall. I'm surprised they're backing up so far. At least if he tries to kill this Neon, I was like, maybe they can possibly get Neon to die. But because the other guy was... Wait, I'm kind of curious now, because the guy was backing up. If he was backing up so far...
All good.
The bomb was still pretty close to... Like, see how Astra's walking back right now?
No shot.
Oh, it's because Astra has the suck. I see.
Yo, by the way,
I see. No. I think Astra walking back there definitely is fine. but walking that far back was kind of dangerous because the moment Neon dies, it's gonna be no. Maybe they don't get it, but it's just like there's a possibility where like for some reason something messes up, but maybe that's why they're pros. I don't, but personally, I don't think I would ever just let myself be so far back that if for some reason Neon dies, I would have to run back to B, knowing where they can hear my footsteps. I like this early knife, getting that info. They know Neon and KO are there. I honestly would assume that they think Neon is there as well, definitely towards A side, solely because of the KO Neon. I mean the KO and the Fade. Neon has been playing with KO and Fade a lot. And this is new. They're taking a lot of mid control. They're trying to fight back mid. But they don't get any information mid that they immediately back up. And that's very interesting to me. I think they're trying to wait for a lurk, but there's still someone lurking anyways. It's not like it stopped the lurk. I like that knife, making sure no one's close. It's like a guarantee, like you don't have to worry about it anymore. But they just, I guess they wanted ult. All they wanted was ult in that moment and then backed off. But it makes sense. If you really have that space and you're not being contested for that space, for real, if you grab ult orbs whenever you can, those are so strong. Just being able to ult as much as you can is always just very strong. Ults are made to be good for a reason. I do like how Fade backed up there. I do like this plant a lot, especially when the team is watching. I do think the smoke though, if someone pushed out the smoke, Rossi was definitely dead in that moment. Wow, he hits that shot. But I think maybe he just walked into his crosshair a little bit. Wow, he didn't win that fight. I'm surprised. It was against a Sheriff and a Stinger. Now that they're playing here, I respect that entirely. I think that's a great place to play for this plant. It is a little concerning. He has to get off that. Ooh. Does Asher have smoke? Ah. I do think that was well played though by C9. A lot better plant. A lot better. The Astra did die at the end there, I saw. For like a brief second. But I do think Cloud9 played that post plant a lot better. They got alt orb for Zeppa to immediately then run in with ults and then take side basically. If your team, if you're a 5-stack, if there is a KO and they just full send a KO ult, if your team can run back or if they're in a position to run back, I think that's very acceptable, very understandable. But yeah, I do think here we have 3 pushing out this time. I kind of, oh wow, that was a really risky play. It worked out though. I'm surprised. I feel like Oxy should have been a little bit more ready on that. The moment a smoke comes down, the moment if someone's just chilling in a smoke, if a smoke's getting ready to fall, like be ready for a KO flash. Like things like that, like you gotta, I think it's not something you should be fully okay with just happening. Like you should always be ready for anything to pop out. I do think whenever you see a Silva drone by himself, it's very much indicative of that. It seems like they're just faking it. They seem to really like faking B pressure with a Silva drone. And I think after a certain point, it's not worth it. I think if you were to use Silva drone now, this would be so much better for their team. Rossi is very aggressive with his ult. And I don't know if it's because he likes to play more aggressively, so he doesn't have to feel like he's wasting his ult. get a half, they get the fuse easy. Okay, I do like how they're playing a lot. I really do, and I'm debating if I want to calm the second part now or do it later. I think I'll do it later. If you guys in the comments want to, let me know if you just want to one big video or if you'd rather have two small videos. I think that's fine. But I think I will record another video and then let you guys let me know how you guys like it or not. But thank you for watching. I'll put my second part of this later for the Sentinels attacking instead of defending. But thank you for watching, guys. See ya.